I don't think there's any industry that has cry bullies to the level that comics do. It's absolutely crazy. They try to keep it this insular community of a whisper network that nobody's allowed in without their permission, and then nobody's allowed to get any clout unless they're working for these corporate IP properties that Stan Lee created 50 plus years ago. It's quite the scam, isn't it? And none of these people really make any money either. That's the other weird part about this. They're always begging for money, things like that. You see big GoFundMe's all the time from people like Heather Antos and Mags Visaggio. Another one who just loves to cry bully on the internet is, of course, Mark Waid. We saw that Mark had a little tissy fit on Facebook last week after Mark Miller went out and talked to the comic shop owners about what's wrong with the industry. Of course, we're supposed to believe there's nothing wrong with the industry. That's the big gaslight that's going on right now, a big marketing campaign that's happening, and it's all fake. But Mark Waid has gone a step further. Of course, we saw that he went absolutely crazy. I'm going to talk about that and then talk about his doubling down, because they always do double down once we get into the news here. My name is John Delarose, and I'd appreciate it if you'd give a little like and subscribe for the channel. Of course, we are reporting on the best comics news, and that's why I'm the most trusted name in comic book news at this point. I'm also one of the most trusted names in comic crowdfunding with over 12 graphic novels. And you can get most of these books, at least the non-variant versions, which were the limited releases, on my website here. Flying Sparks is a great series if you love old superhero stuff. Same with Cosmic Warrior. Overmind's wonderful science fiction. That's where I recommend most people start with my work. I've got a little bit of everything. I've also got novels, and I've got digital comics on here if you don't want to deal with shipping and things like that. Just go grab that. That link is in the description below. I've also got a subscribe star if you want to support our efforts here, because we've been banned on Patreon, of course. They got us. So here it is. Mark Waid's original deal. This is on my website, the Fandom Pulse, which is where we're reporting our comic news. It's fandompulse.com. And he said, I think a lot of us would rather just see the industry burn down than get together with the alt-right. I know I would. Sorry. Of course, the implication that is that everybody he disagrees with is alt-right when he did this at the end of the day. And so it's very interesting that the guy who's one of the spearheads of the mainstream industry would rather just burn it down than have to not deal with his leftist politics, which is what he means by alt-right. If somebody disagrees with him at all, they're alt-right. Everybody's an alt-right boogeyman. I'm an alt-right boogeyman. Ethan Van Sciver's an alt-right boogeyman. Eric July is a bad black alt-right guy, right? This is how crazy they are at this juncture. But this is what they've done. They branded anybody who's in half of America, even more than half of America, as just these boogeymen, alt-right, Nazi, literal racist bigots. They've been doing it for years, and Mark Waid's one of the worst about this. Of course, we know that Mark Waid's mentally ill. He's actually had DMs revealed back in the day that went off on the fact that he has prescription drugs he's on and he has problems with his mental illness. So it's no wonder. It's just crazy that the industry keeps hiring people like this to do their dirty work. But he doubled down on this, guys. This was not just the last Unhinged rant. This is the new one that he has right now. He says, let's see, for those coming in late, what I said that's causing internet meltdowns. No, it was you who did an internet meltdown, Mark. Was when it comes to resolving the problems of a dwindling market, a lot of us would rather see the industry burn down than ally with the alt-right. If this statement enrages you, it says a lot more about you than it does about me. Now, this is how they further gaslight, and they always do this. This is a terrible argument, and it's, of course, coming from somebody who's an idiot, like Mark Waid. And that's what happens. They say, oh, if you identify as a Nazi and think it was talking about you, then you must be a Nazi. That's it. They never actually self-reflect and go, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go and call comic book critics, comic book retailers, comic book professionals who just disagree with me politically alt-right or Nazi or whatever. They never self-reflect on that. It's always a double down, and they always get their little shills hitting the like, and that's why they do it. They just get the dopamine hits off those likes, and it makes their day, because they're really not doing anything productive with their day at this point other than sitting there fretting about these boogeymen on the internet, these YouTubers like myself who are just reporting on what they say at the end of the day. It's really sad. I asked Mark Waid to come on the channel to talk about comic books because he's had some good comics in the past, and he can't. He literally just cannot have a conversation with somebody like me because he just is, it would just shatter his worldview. In his head, I'm a Nazi, and he can't process that. It's called cognitive dissonance. And so he will just invent every reason that I must actually be some kind of Nazi, rather than actually be wrong and just apologize for saying that about people like myself. It's really sad that this is what it's come to in today's discourse in the comic book industry, but this is what we have going all the way around. Yuck. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to hit my web store, my friends, and read some good comic books. Mark, if you're watching this, read my comic books. You'll like them. There's no Nazi content involved. And we'll see you soon.